Okay, so now in this lesson I'm going to review with you how to do a rollover. I'll go ahead and delete what was already there and get started again. I created a new Dreamweaver lesson folder. Again, you're going to go to Manage Sites. This one's already created. You will click New Site, come in, name the site, point to a folder that's valid, and have a nice day. On this particular site, I have just a page that I've saved quickly, and then 2 different images. So to start, I'm going to go to the Insert menu, drag down to Image Objects, and go to Rollover Image. For image name, you can put a meaningful name if you choose. For the purposes of what we do in this course, you don't need to really worry about that. For the original image, remember a rollover is when you mouse over, it flips between 2 images, the original image and then the secondary or rollover image. So I'll go ahead and browse for the first image, which in this case will be the Beatles when they were younger. And then the rollover image I'm going to choose, again I just clicked browse, is this one right here. I'll click OK to that message. Alt text is as it always was. It gives the visually impaired user or the user who chooses not to view any images and only do text-only browsing. It tells them what images they are missing, gives some descriptions for it. So click here for the Beatles official site. And then I've already taken the liberty to go to a site that would actually make sense for this, and I copied the entire URL. Remembering, of course, that when you freehand type, there's a good chance you'll do a typo and it won't work, and also that the HTTP and other parts of the address aren't always included in this shortcut menu here. So if you go into the front, here we go, the HTTP is here, but on the thing that I copied, it doesn't appear to be part of the URL. So it's important to copy and paste. I'm going to click OK to this, and you'll see that in the code window, there's a little bit of script going on, and it tells you what the first image is, the second image is, and also where that page will go to, okay, which is right here. I'm going to go ahead and save this file and load it into the browser. Again, you can click on your icon right here to preview it and preview it in whichever browser you like. When you hover over it, it switches between the original image and the rollover image. You have your finger indicating that it is some kind of hypertext link or hyperlink. And then down on the bottom in your system status, it tells you what's going to happen when you click on that page. Now notice there's no title attribute, and also when I click on the link, it gets rid of my page and overwrites my page, which, as you know, is the default for any hyperlink. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that up, doing 2 different things in the code window. The first thing that I'm going to want to do for this particular thing is target it to open on a new page. If I click on the actual design view here, and I click on the actual rollover image, down on my properties panel, I can choose _blank, and it will code that for me. I just find that to be easier. If you like to go into the code window and freehand type, you can go right ahead and do that. The second thing that I'm going to do is add some kind of title attribute so that when I hover over this, it gives me a love note, as you've learned with me previously in this course. So I'll go ahead and let Dreamweaver do some of the work for me by going into the actual image, typing title, or starting to type title. It'll do the equal sign and the quotations for me. And then I'll just type in the love note and make sure there's a space afterwards. Again, I'm going to save my work, file, or Control S, file save, whichever. And now when I go over to the actual rollover, I toggle between them. I do have that love note that I created with the title attribute, and when I click on this particular link, it's going to go ahead and open the Beatles on its own separate page, separate from my page, so that if I want to keep users on my site didn't go away and get overwritten by the outside link that I provided. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Have fun.